The Dharmadhātustava of Nāgārjuna. I pay homage to youthful Manjushri. I bow to you, the Dharmadhātu, who resides in every sentient being. But if they aren't aware of you, they circle through this triple being. Due to just that, being purified, what is such circling's cause? This very purity is then nirvana. Likewise, Dharmakaya is just this. While it's blended with the milk, butter's essence appears not. Likewise, in the afflictions mix, Dharmadhātu is not seen. Once you've cleansed it from the milk, butter's essence is without a stain. Just so, with the afflictions purified, the Dharmadhātu lacks all stain. Just as a lamp that's sitting in a vase does not illuminate at all, while dwelling in the vase of the afflictions, the Dharmadhātu is not seen. From whichever of its sides you punch some holes into this vase, from just these various places then, its light rays will beam forth. Once the Vajra of Samadhi has completely smashed this vase, to the very limits of all space, it will shine just everywhere. Unarisen is the Dharmadhātu, and never cease it will, at all times without afflictions, stainless through beginning, middle, end. A blue beryl, that precious gem, is luminous at any time, but if confined within its ore, its shimmer does not gleam. Just so the Dharmadhātu, free of stain, while it's obscured by the afflictions, in samsara doesn't shine its light, but in nirvana it will beam. If this element exists through our work, we will see the purest of all gold. Without this element, despite our toil, nothing but misery we will produce. Just as grains, when covered by their husks, are not considered rice that can be eaten, while being shrouded in afflictions, it is not named Buddhahood. Just as rice itself appears when it is free from all its husks, the Dharmakaya clearly manifests once it is free from the afflictions. Banana trees don't have a pith. That's used as an example in the world. But their fruits, their very pith, in all their sweetness we do eat. Just so, when samsara without pith is released from the affliction's peel, its fruition, Buddhahood itself, turns into nectar for all beings. Likewise, from all seeds there are fruits born that match their cause. By which person could it then be proved that there is a fruit without a seed? This basic element, which is the seed, is held to be the basis of all dharmas. Through its purification, step by step, the state of Buddhahood we will attain. Spotless are the sun and moon, but obscured by fivefold stains. These are clouds and smoke and mist, Rahu's face and dust as well. Similarly, mind so luminous is obscured by fivefold stains, their desire, malice, laziness, agitation, and doubt too. A garment that was purged by fire may be soiled by various stains. When it's put into a blaze again, the stains are burned, the garment not. Likewise, mind that is so luminous is soiled by stains of craving, and so forth. The afflictions burn in wisdom's fire, but its luminosity does not. The sutras that teach emptiness, however many spoken by the victors, they all remove afflictions, but never ruin this dhatu. Water dwelling deep within the earth remains untainted through and through. Just so, wisdom in afflictions stays without a single stain. Since Dharmadhātu is not a self, neither woman nor a man, free from all that could be grasped, how could it be labeled self? In all the Dharma that's without desire, you see neither women nor a man. Men and women are just taught, for guiding those plagued by desire. Impermanence, suffering, and empty, these three, they purify the mind. The Dharma purifying mind the best is the lack of any nature. In a pregnant woman's womb, a child exists but is not seen. Just so, Dharmadhātu is not seen when it's covered by afflictions. Through conceptions of a self and mine, discriminations of names and reasons, the four conceptions will arise, based on the elements and their outcome. Even the Buddha's aspiration prayers lack appearance and characteristics, immersed in their very own awareness, Buddhas have the nature of permanence. Any horns there on a rabbit's head are just imagined and do not exist. Just so, all phenomena as well are just imagined and do not exist. Also, the horns of an ox do not exist, as having the nature of particles. Just as before, so it is after. What's to be imagined there? Since things dependently originate, and independence too will cease. If not even one of them exists, how can fools imagine them? How the dharmas of the Sugata are established as the very middle is through the ox and rabbit horn examples. The forms of sun, moon, and the stars are seen as reflections upon water within a container that is pure. Just so, the characteristics are complete. Virtuous throughout beginning, middle, end. Undeceiving and so steady. What's like that is just the lack of self. So how can you conceive it as a self and mine? About water at the time of spring, what we say is that it's warm. Of the very same thing, when it's chilly, we just say that it is cold. Covered by the web of the afflictions, it is called a sentient being. Once it's free from the afflictions, it should be expressed as Buddha. Independence upon eye and form, appearances without a stain occur. From being unborn and unceasing, the Dharmadhātu will be known. Independence upon sound and ear, pure consciousness comes forth. All three Dharmadhātu without signs. Linked with thought, this will be hearing. Smelling independence upon nose and smell is an example for the lack of form. Likewise, it's the nose's consciousness that conceptualizes Dharmadhātu. The nature of the tongue is emptiness, and the dhātu of the taste is void. Being of the Dharmadhātu's nature, consciousness is non-abiding. From the nature of a body pure, and the characteristics of the tangible conditions, what is free from such conditions is to be expressed as Dharmadhātu. Once conception and its concepts are relinquished with regard to phenomena whose principle is mind, it's the very lack of nature of phenomena that you should cultivate as Dharmadhātu. What you see and hear and smell, what you taste and touch, phenomena as well. Once yogins realize them in this way, the characteristics are complete. Eyes and ears and also nose, tongue and body, and the mind as well. The 6 ayatanas fully pure. This is true reality's own mark. Mind as such is seen as two, worldly and beyond the world. Clinging to it as a self, it is samsara. In your very own awareness, true reality. Since desire is extinguished, it is nirvana. Hatred and ignorance are extinguished too. Since these have ceased, it's Buddhahood itself, the very refuge for all beings. Due to realization and its lack, all is in this very body. Through our own conceptions we are bound, but when knowing our nature, we are free. Enlightenment is neither far nor near, and neither does it come nor go. It's whether it is seen or not, right in the midst of our afflictions. By dwelling in the lamp of prajñā, it turns into peace supreme. So the collection of the sutras says, by exploring yourself, you should rest. Children blessed by tenfold power's force, see them like the crescent of the moon. But those beings with afflictions do not see Tathagatas at all. Just as ghosts with thirst and hunger see the ocean to be dry, those obscured by ignorance think that Buddhas don't exist. What's the Bhagavat supposed to do for inferiors and those whose merit's low? It's just like the supreme of jewels put in the hand of one who's blind. But for beings who acquired merit, the Buddha dwells before their eyes, with the 32 marks shining bright in their luminous and glorious light. Though the protector's Rupakaya may remain for many eons, for guiding those in need of guidance, it is just this dhātu that is different. Ascertaining the object of the mind, consciousness will engage in it. Once your very own awareness becomes pure, you will dwell right in the Bhumi's nature, the great and mighty one's supreme abode, Akanishta, that's so beautiful, and consciousness, all three of them, fuse into a single one, I say. As for knowing all among the childish, the diversity among the noble, and the great and mighty, infinite in time. What's the cause of time in eons? For sustaining the duration, during eons truly infinite, of all beings' outer realms, and for creatures' life force to remain. This is what's the inexhaustive cause, in that whose fruitions inexhaustible, through the special trait of non-appearance, engage in full for prajna's sake. Don't think enlightenment is far away, and don't conceive it as close by. With the sixfold objects not appearing, its awareness of reality, just as it is. Just as from a mix of milk and water that is present in a vessel, geese just sip the milk, but not the water, which remains just as it is. Just so, being covered by afflictions, wisdom dwells within this body, one with them. But yogins just extract the wisdom and leave the ignorance behind. As long as we still cling to self and mine, we will conceive of outer things through this. But once we see the double lack of self, the seeds of our existence find their end. Since it is the ground for Buddhahood, nirvana, purity, permanence, and virtue too, and because the childish think of two, in the yoga of their non-duality, please rest. Generosity's multiple hardships, ethics gathering beings good, and patience benefiting beings. Through these three the dhātu blooms. Enthusiastic vigor for all dharmas, mind that enters meditative poise, prajna as your permanent resort. These two make enlightenment unfold. Prajna that is joined with means, aspiration prayers very pure, a firm stand in power, wisdom too. These four dharmas make the dhātu flourish. To bodhicitta I pay no homage, saying such is evil speech. Where there are no bodhisattvas, there will be no dharmakaya. Some dislike the seeds of sugar cane, but still wish to relish sugar. Without seeds of sugar cane, there will be no sugar. When these seeds of sugar cane are well guarded, fostered, and refined, molasses, sugar, candy too, will then come forth from them. With bodhicitta it is just the same. When it's guarded, fostered, and refined, arhats, conditioned realizers, Buddhas too, will then arise and spring from it. Just as farmers guarding seeds of rice and others, thus the leaders guard all those who are aspiring to the supreme jnana. Just as on the 14th day of waning, just a little bit of moon is seen, those aspiring to the supreme jnana will see a tiny bit of Buddhakaya. Just as when the waxing moon is seen more in every moment, those who've entered on the bhumis see its increase step by step. On the 15th day of waxing, eventually the moon is full. Just so, when the bhumi's end is reached, the Dharmakaya is full and clear. Having generated this mind truly, through continuous firm aspiration for the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, irreversibility shows time and again. Through the ground of darkness all relinquished, and the ground of brightness firmly seized, it is ascertained right at this point. Therefore it is designated joy. What's been tainted through all times by the stains of passion and so forth, and is pure now without stains, that is called the stainless one. Once the affliction's web pulls back, stainless prajna brightly shines. This dispels all boundless darkness, and thus is the illuminating. It always gleams with light so pure, and is engulfed by wisdom's shine, with all bustle being fully dropped. Hence this bhumi's held to be the radiant. It triumphs in science, sports, and arts and crafts, the full variety of samadhi's range, and over afflictions very hard to master. Thus it is considered difficult to master. The three kinds of enlightenment, the gathering of all that's excellent, arising, ceasing, too exhausted, this bhumi's held to be the facing. Since it's ever playing with a web of light that's configurated in a circle and has crossed samsara's swampy pond, this is labeled gone afar, being cared for by the Buddhas, having entered into wisdom's ocean, being without effort and spontaneous, by the hordes of Maras, it's immovable. Since those yogians have completed their discourses teaching Dharma, in all awarenesses discriminating perfectly, this bhumi is considered excellent insight. The kaya with this wisdom's nature, which is stainless, equal to the sky, holds the Dharma of the Buddhas. From it the cloud of Dharma forms. The abode of Buddha Dharmas fully bears the fruit of practice. This fundamental change of state is called the Dharmakaya. Free from latent tendencies, you're inconceivable. Samsara's latent tendencies, they can be conceived. You're completely inconceivable. Through what could you be realized? Beyond the entire sphere of speech, outside the range of any senses, to be realized by mental knowing, I bow to and praise whatever's suitable. In this manner of gradual engagement, the highly renowned children of the Buddhas, through the wisdom of the cloud of Dharma, see phenomena's empty nature. Once their minds are cleansed completely, they have gone beyond samsara's depths. They rest calmly on a throne, whose nature is a giant lotus. Everywhere they are surrounded by lotuses that number billions, in their many jeweled petals light, and with anthers of enthralling beauty. They overflow with tenfold power, immersed within their fearlessness, never straying from the inconceivable, Buddha Dharmas without reference point. Through all their actions of outstanding conduct, their merit and their wisdom are complete. This full moon's surrounded everywhere by the stars that are its retinue. In the sun that is the Buddha's hands, stainless jewels shine their light. Through empowering their eldest children, they bestow empowerment on them. Abiding in this yoga that's so great, with divine eyes they behold worldly beings debased by ignorance, distraught and terrified by suffering. From their bodies, without effort, light rays are beaming forth, and open wide the gates for those who are engulfed in ignorance's gloom. It's held that those in the nirvana with remainder into the nirvana without remainder pass. But here the actual nirvana is mind that's free from any stain. The non-being of all beings, this nature is its sphere. The mighty bodhicitta, seeing it, is fully stainless Dharmakaya. In the stainless Dharmakaya, the sea of wisdom finds its place. Like with variegated jewels, being's welfare is fulfilled from it. This completes in Praise of Dharmadhātu, composed by the great Acharya Nāgārjuna. It was translated by the Indian Upadhyaya Krishna Pandita and the Tibetan translator Tsultrim Gyalwa.